Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of gold and silver. We're going to go over the dollar, 10-year yield, the precious metals, some ETFs, and also some individual companies to gauge what's going on in the markets today. So let's jump in. I'll give you my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. And here we go. So this is the dollar. We had a strong dollar today, very strong, 0.7% up. And currencies everywhere are struggling. And what I think is going to happen is we're going to see this thing walk higher, potentially to a 98, 99 level or so up here. And then I think we're going to see a turn lower. What's going to cause that turn? I mean, we'll see. Usually in an expansionary phase of real estate, which we had an expansionary phase starting here, and then it turned in 2002 and really started to go lower. This was that expansionary phase of real estate that really started to get moving. It started in the year, I would say 99, 2000 is when it really started to get moving, and it took a year or two to get the inflation into the system. Since the M2 money supply went up, and then inflation takes a year or two to get into the system. So we are coming into that. We are a little bit early, and there could be a little bit more upside in the dollar, which is going to put pressure on gold and silver and commodities in general, because people are still viewing the dollar as a asset that they can run into and get out of their currencies. But the dollar is still being printed. It is still going down in value. This index can go up at the same time the dollar is crashing. The dollar is crashing. We have inflation of over 6%. A 6% print versus, say, Turkey's, which is going down at 21% in a month. 6% is not nearly as bad as 21% is in a month. So people are still running to the dollar. Doesn't mean the dollar is safe. They're still running to quicksand, which you're going to be moving down in. And then the 10-year yield's been dropping. It's been dropping, and people have been running into bonds. So that and we're still within this pattern here, going back and forth between these two lines. On a big picture view, though, I do think eventually this is going to work its way higher in this inverted head and shoulder pattern, and is signaling that we are at a bottoming process. On a big picture view, blow off top, capitulation bottom. That is your period of peak to bottom here in 2020. Then I think we're going to start our way on up in the big picture view. Gold started strong today, but it finished a little weak. We actually might finish, I think it finished a little bit lower then. Still looks like it's getting data. But we had a nice, good move, good run here. Came back up. It's probably going to chop sideways a little bit or moves on a sideways movement in an uptrend fashion. That's what I'm hoping for. Sideways to uptrend fashion. So we may come back and we pull up, come back, but the higher lows and higher highs will hopefully be in the cards for us. And silver, it looks like it's slowing that momentum. So the momentum came down. It's going sideways, and we might get a little bit more chopping sideways before we start moving on up. Hopefully that's the case. Same with platinum. Platinum still has a little bit more momentum to the downside, so it may have to work its way out and make that turn and come on up. The XAU to gold ratio, big picture view on this ratio. Get it out of log because it's a ratio. Downward movement, sideways movement. Now I'm waiting for this thing to come back up at any point. It could maybe even take another 6 months to a year even, if it goes sideways a little bit longer. Do I think that? I don't know. But I can tell you, this is a really good entry point here. We've got a low, we have a higher low, it's stepping into resistance, and this will eventually break. The timing's the only question. We know it's cheap, we know the market conditions are good, we know we have inflation. It's all there. And then I think money's going to rotate into this when interest rates start to go up. And I don't know the exact timing, and I don't know what interest rate will really start to make this thing go. Is it just 1 quarter point rate hike? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? I don't know, but I can tell you I'm going to be positioned in it before everyone else because this thing's got a massive runway ahead of it in terms of valuation. And gold itself has a massive, could make a massive move to the upside. Here's Karora Resources, a nice big up week this week. Again, I'm looking at the lows and they're stepping in. If we can stick it here, we're going to have a higher low. And I think this would be a really good entry point on a big long-term picture of this massive pattern that's developing. And what's going to happen here is you're going to get a huge move up. I mean, it may not be straight up. It might do something like this, like that or something. And then you're going to see a big old move at some point. Do I know when that exact timing is? No, but I can tell you this is looking really good from a long-term perspective. And EXK, another long-term perspective picture, nice big kind of wedge forming. It may have a little bit. This is 1, 2, 3. Then you go for your break, and sometimes they pull back and do a little bit more on the tip here. SILJ, again, big picture view, 1, 2, and we're in that third. And hopefully we can do a little break here. We broke this downtrend line, so that's the first thing. Probably some chopping sideways is next. And it looks, this is GDX. We've got the monster pattern back here. We broke to the upside of it. And I should probably move that down just a hair to here. And we're in this other descending wedge pattern, which will eventually break to the upside, I think. MMNGF, again, we're right at the top of the pattern. It's just going sideways. Discovery Silver, nice good buying pressure here. Coming up to our next, this is going to act as resistance at $1.70 through history here. Big picture view, kind of it squeezed up, broke down. It's probably developing or making another very large pattern here. AG, looking at this guy, big old pattern. It's squeezing up. It just needs some time. And then when the interest rates go up, I think these things are going to be gone. This is very cheap down here. These are good entry points for long-term holds, in my opinion, with the way this is set up. And Newmont's got a massive pattern. It's like the biggest I've ever seen since this started in 1977. Went all the way up, created this pattern, and we're going back and forth. This is number 1, this is number 2, number 3, and then we're going to go for the break here and move on up. The projected move is far higher. Oh my goodness. Projected move is at $140 for this big old pattern here. Looks really nice. I like this pattern, the way it looks. There we go. It's logarithmic. Yamana Gold, it's got a big old descending wedge pattern. And we came into this descending wedge pattern, broke to the upside, into another flag pattern, which is a continuation pattern to move to the upside. We're still in it. It's going to the tip. It's Yamana Gold's playing the game just the tip. So we've got Impact Silver here, nice big pattern, broken to the upside. This one's it's flailing a little bit on the right-hand side here. But just be patient, it'll come. And this one is Aftermath Silver. Big picture view. Zoom in. We're playing with the lower trend line at the moment. Sandstorm Gold, Royalty. Big picture view. We're putting in this massive hammer candlestick pattern right at the resistance line. So it's getting bought up. There's the candlestick pattern there on the daily, I should say the weekly candlestick there with the big wick at the bottom. On the daily, you can see we came up a little update today, trying to go back above its resistance line. Franco-Nevada, it is still inside of its pattern. Small update today. It's looking okay on the weekly candlestick. When this thing breaks, we've got a price projection of about $230. So nice, good upside move when this thing pops out of its pattern here. EMX getting a little bit sold off today. Not too sure what's going on, but maybe we get a nice, good buying point somewhere down here if you want to add in here. Up to you. There's the sell-off today. Student Resources, little bearish engulfing pattern. These smaller ones sometimes can throw false patterns, sometimes not, but it's probably going to move sideways quite a bit. That's my guess. This is Wheaton Precious Metals. Again, we're coiling up in the upper side here. We had a nice little update today, so hopefully we can try to work our way on breaking up. This could be a shoulder head shoulder on the short term. Maybe we come back to 37 bucks before moving up. It's a possibility. Nice. Gold Royalty Corporation. Very nice looking day today. I like the buying pressure and the volume. This thing could potentially head on up. Looks really nice. Good move today for Gold Royalty. Metallo Minerals. We're still playing with this support line to the downside. The conditions are right for these. So overall, I think it'll eventually break to the upside. It's just the sellers here doing this. I don't know. They'd say tax loss selling. We'll see if it turns around. But Mavericks Metals putting in the hammer pattern. Maybe we can get some momentum here on this and turn around. So it's a nice, good reversal day today. And I think that's probably what we're going to get is a reversal to move on up. At least they're going to try to do a reversal here. So that's what I see in Mavericks Metals. Another big hammer candlestick pattern in Royal Gold on a weekly candlestick basis. Zooming in, you can see that it's playing with its upper downtrend line. So that's good. This one's actually going to the upside on good volume as well. So this one looks really good. Big long-term picture. We can move all the way up to this and then break that to the upside, hopefully. Could be a very big move. And then Osisko Gold Royalty. This is another royalty company. It's got a nice, good hammer pattern here. This is a big pattern. Goes all the way back to the mid-2000s. When this thing breaks, should be pretty fun. Weekly candlesticks and then the daily candlesticks here. And it's bouncing off its support line at the bottom here. So that's what I have for today. Big picture view, guys. These patterns are absolutely beautiful. Now we just have to be patient. It's going to take some time. I don't think this is going to happen, this second, this month, maybe even it might take 6 months to a year. And maybe it does it sooner than that. It's very hard to get the timing nuts on, but I can tell you this, the patterns are developing. They're massive. The conditions are there. So you want to accumulate over the time frame, these long time frames to accumulate shares when they're cheap. And then if they go, whenever they go, it's going to be one heck of a ride because I think these are probably some of the cheapest assets that you can buy in the world would be the mining, like the royalty companies and mining companies in gold and precious metals just in general, because the ratios against the monetary base for precious metals are absolutely out of whack. We've got all this inflation coming. We've got all these people running out of their currencies. A lot of stuff's going on, and I think eventually the money will end up here. Not in Osisko Gold Royalties per se, but some of it will end up there, but in precious metals in general. So I think that's where it's probably going to end up over time. When people get scared and they run to something, and this is what is there. And you can see the patterns are all developing, so it'll come. If you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.